Our boy clutches his face. His eyes wide with shock and pain, he stands alone in a field of bodies, and he cannot see. He is bleeding from a gash across his eye, completely silent. An overhead view shows the aftermath of a massacre. Bodies everywhere, he kneels on the ground. A single sword stands before him. He desperately searches around him, his face covered in blood. His hand reaches out for the hilt of the sword. He yanks the sword free from the stone floor. He kneels over a fallen man, touching his face. His hand feels the features of the dead man's face. He keeps searching, moving from one body to the next. He finds another body, and his expression freezes in horror. Even Mother, who never got involved in the Jianghu, was killed as well. The man in the middle mocks. He looks up, blood still dripping from his eyes. Asking who is there, this muscular man sneers. So this is the kid, the one whose eyes Lord Fei Huang destroyed. Hearing the name, his face contorts with pure rage. He says, Nue? He remembers the villain's name, Fei Huang, and makes a vow. You die a horrible death. A swordsman from the Zhou clan's 8-direction sword sect swore 3 days ago. This sect was attacked at night by the evil sect Nue. A sect member shouts an order. Fire the signal flares and ask the major sects for help. They lit the oath order, but not a single sect came to help. His father, the sect leader Zhou Luochuan, led his older brothers to fight as he took formation with the disciples. He remembers their so-called #1 sect facing annihilation. Their sign lay broken on the ground, a symbol of their complete defeat. This entire sect was wiped out in a single night. His senior chokes out. This attacker just grins, asking him how he wants to die, and then Jinchen cuts him down, saving his sick brother. He orders everyone to hold the gate while he reinforces the back. This man he saved thanks him, calling him young Master Jinchen, but the enemy gets back up, yelling that it is not the time to lose focus. Jinchen's eyes narrow. He knows this is a critical moment. I have to do something, he thinks. Leaping forward to use the Zhou clan sword style, he unleashes the single-eye sword lotus, and it seems to connect, but the villain just laughs. You fell for it. Jinchen realizes his mistake, a bead of sweat running down his face. This villain's hand moves towards the hilt of his own sword, and a blinding flash erupts from the hilt. In that battle with Fei Huang, Jinchen's eyes were destroyed. The creepy officer Pai Shuai explains, back in the present. The big guy taunts him. Anyway, for a blind cripple like you, he swings his huge sword down. This is a kind of release too, but Jinchen blocks it, and the attacker cannot believe it. Right now, he is just going through the same darkness as back then, Jinchen thinks. This other says, if the kid can stay in the sword burial cave for 3 days, inside, our boy is terrified by the cold and the dark. But he resolves that he cannot just sit there and wait to die, so he starts to feel his way deeper into the cavern. This darkness is absolute, he whispers, enveloped by the void. It hides in every single corner, he murmurs, stumbling into the vast chamber of swords. He has found the heart of the sword burial cave, the narrator explains, for in this place everything became his teacher. This elements of the cave began to teach him. He learns from the sound of a blade piercing the ground. He was taught how to use all his senses besides his eyes. The swordsman explains, surrounded by the spirits of the dark. This experience forged him into something new, something stronger. It revealed a way of survival that exists only in the dark. He thinks as his blade cuts right through his opponent. He pulls the sword from the man's gut without hesitation. This red-haired man is shocked. This brat can still see. The big guy says it was just luck, but the leader warns his men not to underestimate him, even if he is blind. Our boy rushes forward, his bloody eyes seeing nothing but his mind seeing all. He hears them clearly, 3 sets of footsteps. The kid thinks parrying the red-haired man's blow perfectly. He identifies the weapon by its feel and sound. Polearm. His sword meets the polearm with a sharp clang. He recalls a lesson to defeat many with few. You must follow the proper way. He throws the contents of a flask, splashing a liquid everywhere. His blade scrapes along the stone floor, creating a shower of sparks. This liquid ignites into a wall of fire. This is the first step. This big guy realizes the truth. This kid isn't aiming at me. He's aiming at the wine flask by tracking its scent. This fire blocks one path, preventing them from surrounding him. And now for the second part of his strategy, he declares, rushing forward with his sword, ready to strike. His goal is to feint an attack and break their formation. The leader scoffs, but another attacker leaps from above, thinking he has an opening. Jinchen is ready, blocking the overhead strike perfectly. He deliberately showed an opening to lure the man in closer. This attacker realizes his mistake, cursing his own foolishness. He predicted my attack and raised his sword to block in advance. The man thinks as Jinchen easily disarms him. He catches the falling sword, now holding 2 blades. His new objective is simple. reduce their numbers. He thinks to himself as expected. Only the swordsman has the scent of blood on him. He realizes slipping away into the darkness of the nearby woods. This leader checks the man Jinchen just cut down. He is not breathing. Split up and search for him, the red-haired leader orders, stepping into the forest. Jinchen gets his attention with a simple hey. This red-haired man turns around with a scowl on his face. Jinchen stands in the clearing, asking if the man was looking for him. This man scoffs that Jinchen is just looking for death. Jinchen points out that long weapons are a burden in the woods. This red-haired man grips his polearm tighter in frustration. Our boy recalls the Zhou clan's 24 ultimate arts. He strikes from behind, and the man screams in agony. This red-haired man falls to the ground in a pool of blood. Jinchen catches his breath, thinking how his other senses have adapted. But he turns his head. Sensing there is still one more enemy, this big guy curses him, his own weapon now broken. He throws the broken hilt, yelling, "Can't you just obediently lie down and die?" Jinchen just stands there, ready for the next attack. This big guy charges, screaming that Jinchen will not get an easy death. Jinchen uses a Zhou clan technique called sacrifice to evade the blow. He remains completely focused as the attack misses him. He sits down, clutching his shoulder in pain, admitting this is his only way to fight. This leader Pai Shui watches from the shadows as Jinchen rests. Damn. The red-haired man gets back up, saying, "1 inch more and I'd really be dead." Jinchen whips his head around in complete surprise. This red-haired man brings his weapon down for a final blow, but a masked figure suddenly appears and blocks the attack. This newcomer easily deflects the polearm away from Jinchen. Jinchen is confused, asking, "Stranger, what are you doing?" This masked person says they were just helping a visually impaired person, but Jinchen is not happy. "I left him alive on purpose. Now where am I supposed to get information?" This masked fighter sweats nervously. About that." They quickly change the subject. "Ahem, I have intel on Gi. I can share it with you." Jinchen is not convinced. "And why should I trust you?" This person takes off their mask, revealing a young woman, she says. "Because we share the same goal." Jinchen looks up towards her voice. She seems a bit flustered. He repeats her words, "the same goal." Suddenly his ear twitches. He senses something approaching. He asks what is happening. Elsewhere, a spiky-haired man asks a wolf if it is the same one as yours. Jinchen grips his sword. He thinks to himself, "A wolf." This woman looks on in horror. Wait, he's not planning to clash head-on with that thing, is he? A massive white wolf with glowing red eyes snarls. The text reads, "Zhou clan." Before Jinchen can move, the woman grabs him and yanks him backward. She pulls him away at full speed, yelling, "Idiot blindy." She looks back at him as they run. "You owe me another life." Jinchen asks why they are running. Isn't it just a wolf? The beast looms right behind them. This woman makes a face of pure disbelief. She asks, "Just a," she screams. "That wolf is as big as a small mountain, and yeah," she is not exaggerating. "Any other features?" Jinchen asks. His eyes widen as a memory clicks into place. He thinks, "It's back." "Could it be?" he whispers, remembering the wolf with the distinct green marking on its back. We flash back to a younger Jinchen asking his father why the back mountain is forbidden. His father, Zhou Luochuan, takes a drink. Of course it's because he sits calmly in his chair explaining. Something very powerful lives there. This young Jinchen looks up, full of curiosity. Something powerful? What is it? His father leans in, saying, "I'll tell you quietly, in our back mountain." He explains that the last 2-3 mark ancient wolves live there. Young Jinchen is hyped, asking, "Father, are those ancient wolves really strong?" His father closes his eyes and confirms they are. "Even if I gave them a 3-street head start, they still wouldn't be your dad's match." His dad says, his tone turning serious. He tells Jinchen that he must remember something important. He teaches him about the way of heaven, that everything has its own order. He reaches down to pat his son on the head. He explains the pact between the Zhou clan and the wolves is to not disturb each other. This young boy nods, saying he understands. Back in the present, Jinchen's face is pure rage. 3 mark ancient wolf. I didn't expect to see you here. He slams his sword into the ground, stopping his retreat. "Tell me if my clan tasted as good as their blood smells on your breath?" he asks. He grips his sword tighter, accusing the wolf of breaking the pact. This giant wolf just snarls back at him, its red eyes glowing. Jinchen readies his blade, using the Zhou clan sword style. He leaps forward and slices the wolf right across its face, but the wolf is fast, leaping over him in a dark blur. Jinchen lands firmly on the ground, ready for the next move, but he hesitates, noticing the feeling in his hand. He looks at the blood on his sword, thinking he did not land the hit. He stands alone in the darkness, unable to sense where the wolf went. This spiky-haired man stands with his back to us, his sword held at his side. "Watch out." the massive wolf screams, lunging forward with sword-sect footwork. This masked man uses a technique called nether step and wonders why there is no sound. He observes from a distance, noting how the huge monster moves without a sound. He hides behind a tree, thinking a blind man cannot possibly lock onto it. This wolf lets out a powerful howl, and the masked man suddenly understands. He throws something at the spiky-haired man, yelling at him to fall back. He holds up a glowing green orb. Watch me use this divine scent and wreck its nose too. He hurls the orb forward, yelling out the technique name, Blooming Bomb. This bomb explodes in a massive cloud of white powder. This masked man and the spiky-haired man stand in the smoke. Jinchen is with them. This masked man gives a confident thumbs up. Ha, now that beast is done for, but Jinchen is coughing. Ugh, I do not know if it is done for, but I am about to be. Poor guy. And yeah, the wolf is definitely not done for. It roars out of the smoke. This massive beast lunges right at them through the lingering cloud. This spiky-haired man bolts through the forest, trying to escape. He grabs onto a thick tree trunk to change direction. This masked man realizes his mistake. I just made things worse for the blind guy. He senses something is wrong. He curses. This wolf looms right over him. Its face now half black, he thinks. It is coming for me. This beast lunges, its jaws wide open, ready to tear him apart. But just then, green vines shoot out and wrap around the wolf's paw. These vines yank the massive paw back, throwing the beast off balance.